Hello, my lovely subscribers. Um, Today I'm going to be redoing the crocodile flower. And I'm doing this because I've had a few people who have said that the video is a little difficult to follow and they get lost along the way. So we're going to redo it and I'm going to try to explain the instructions a little better. So I'm using a G hook and I'm doing all of it in big twist, not yellow, but big twist yarn in different colors. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to start off with my slip stitch. And we're just going to go ahead and chain 4. So 1, let me just fix that. Okay, 1. Okay, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, I said 4. 5 or 4. Count it on. And you're just going to slip stitch to make your circle. Then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put 11 double crochets, and this chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. So at the end you should have 12 double crochets. So I'm going to go in, and that's 1, and this is 2, give me a minute. Okay, this is 3, and this is 4, 5, 6, 7, this is 8, 9, this is 10, and this is 11. And of course, you're just gonna slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 there. And there you have your 12 double crochets. So now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn so that this back part faces you. The wrong side should be facing you. So the front, and then here is the back. So now, okay, so what we're going to do now, just getting my instructions together. So give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so you're going to make a treble in the same stitch as you're joining, and I know that can be difficult because it's the wrong way, but I'm not sure if it exists. Okay, so here, right here is where we slip stitch, right there. So when we turn around, you're going to make the treble into that stitch. go. And then we go ahead and make our treble like normal. 2 and 3. Okay, give me 1 minute. Just reading the instructions. Okay. And then in the next stitch here, right next to it, you're going to single crochet, and then you're going to treble again in the same stitch, all in the same stitch. So single crochet and treble in the next stitch, which is right next to it. Okay, just like that. Okay, so all the way around, we're just going to single crochet and treble, and single crochet and treble. So I'm going to go ahead, single crochet and treble, and then you want to slip stitch at the end. So here we go. So single crochet and treble. And that's what It should look like this on the other side. So I'll just take out my hook, and that is what it should look like on the other side. It should look like you have, I don't know, kind of a small popcorn. Okay? And you should have 24 stitches in total. Now, let me just get the rest of my instructions here. Okay. We're still working on the wrong side, and this time we're only going to be working in the single crochets. So if you notice, the trebles, which is here, are a bit longer than the single crochets, which are in the middle, and they are smaller. So we're going to be working only in the single crochets, not the trebles. So, and you can see them if you just kind of turn it, you can see where they are. The single crochets are a bit smaller than the trebles. So we're going to chain one, and we're going to treble and single crochet in the same spaces are joining, which is here. Okay, so treble, there we go, and then single crochet in that same stitch. There we go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to skip that treble that I was showing you, which is here. Here is our treble. We're going to skip that, and here's our single crochet. So I'm going to work in the single crochet, and in that single crochet we're going to put one single crochet, one treble, one single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way around. So we're going to single crochet, then we're going to treble, and then we're going to single crochet again, all in the same stitch. And then we're going to skip the next stitch because that is our treble, and then here the smaller stitch is our single crochet. So again, we single crochet in that single crochet, then we treble, and single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, so my yarn has ended here. So, okay, so if this happens, I'm going to grab more yarn. Now, if this happens, there's no panic or anything. Like, I'm going to go ahead and continue with my pattern. So this is my treble here. I'm going to single crochet here. So I go in and wrap my yarn around, grabbing these two pieces and crocheting over them. And I just do a single crochet like normal, locking those two pieces in place. And I'm going to crochet over them as I go. So now I'm doing my treble, still crocheting over those two pieces of yarn. And then single crochet. Uh-oh, getting ready to do a double. Okay, there, and those pieces are locked in place now. And then I can just continue like normal with my pattern. All right, so this is bothering me. I'm just going to go ahead and clip off. That was just a tail. Okay. Now, okay, so this is what it looks like. And if you flip it over, this is what it should look like on this side. So it looks like you have little popcorns here. So there. Now you should have 36 stitches this time. Okay. So now we're on round 4. And in this round you will again be working into the single crochets and not the trebles. Now I'm going to point this out here. This right here is the treble. And let's see if I can. Okay, so this here is the treble, and these here in the middle, these two stitches in the middle are the single crochets. And you can see them if you turn it on the other side because the treble sticks out. So there's a treble, single crochet, treble, single crochet, and it goes on like that. Remember, we're working in the single crochets only, not the trebles. Okay, so now we're going to chain one, and we're going to skip this treble. That first stitch is a treble, and you're going to single crochet and treble in the next one. So single crochet, and then we're going to treble in that same stitch. And then you're going to single crochet in this stitch, just like that. And we're going to do that all the way around. So again, our next stitch is a treble. So in this next one, the single crochet, you're going to skip that treble. You're going to single crochet in that next stitch and then treble. And then the stitch right next to it, which is another single crochet, you're just going to single crochet in that. And we're going to do that all the way around. So treble, skip, single crochet in the next stitch, and treble in the next stitch. And then you're just going to simply single crochet in the next single crochet. Okay, so I just had to count my stitches to make sure that I had the right amount. So 36. I'm going to point this out. When you're doing these rounds, you may want to put a scrap piece of yarn to let you know where the beginning is, so that when you end, you don't go over it. You can also tell by the stitches because there is a treble in the middle of each one while you're doing it. So you might want to watch out for that. Okay, so 36 stitches at the end of this round, and this is what the front looks like. And then here is the back. So, which is really, it's really nice. So now that we have finished that, we're on round 5 now. So now you're going to be working on it, not like this anymore. So you want the part that looks like it has a bunch of bumps on it, you want that part facing you now. So round 5, let's see, we're going to start round 5 off with a different color yarn. So I'm going to clip this. I am going to tie it off. Go. And now I'm going to get my other yarn that I want to use. You can also use the same color. I like to use different colors. So I'm going to be using Big Twist Orange. Okay, so in this one, you're going to join your yarn by making a standard single crochet in the first single crochet after any treble. Okay, so I'm going to start a little back because I want to try to crochet over this yarn here without having to cut it off. So it says you make a standard single crochet in the first single crochet after any treble. So here is a treble, and I am going to single crochet right here, the single crochet after the treble. So there we go. Now I've added my yarn, and now what it says to do is single crochet in the same stitch. So we're going to single crochet in that same stitch, and then we're going to make 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So right here, 1 and 2. There we go. Now we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to slip stitch into the base of the single crochet. So you chain 5. What you're going to do is right at the bottom where you have your single crochet, you're going to go in and you're just going to do a slip stitch. So you should have this little 5 chain loop right there. Okay. Then you're going to skip the treble and you're going to make 2 single crochets in the next 2 single crochets. So this is where I tied off. So it's a single crochet here and here. This right here, let me make this clear, this part right here is my slip stitch. I'm going to ignore that little part right there. Single crochet, single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 single crochets here. So 1, okay, and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then 5. So 5, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again, you're going to slip stitch at the end. So go in as if you were doing a single crochet in that stitch, come out, and just make a simple slip stitch. Lost my yarn. Okay, and again, you should have a chain 5 loop. So again, we're going to skip the treble. This is our pattern. Skip the treble, make 2 single crochets in the next 2 single crochet stitches. So 1 and 2, and then our next single crochet is a 1 and a 2. 2 single crochets there. Then we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we go into that single crochet that we made earlier, and we're just going to do a slip stitch to make our loop. So we're going to continue that pattern. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. And you should have 48 stitches and 12 chain 5 loops. Okay? Now, I'm going to go on to round 6. Okay, and in round 6, again, we're going to change our yarn. So, going to clip, and I'm going to, there we go. Okay. Now, going to get my other yarn I want to use, and again, this is Big Twist Red. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my slip stitch, and I'm going to join my yarn by making a slip stitch in the first single crochet after any 5 chain loops. So I'm going to start right here. I want to crochet over this, so I'm going to try to start as close as I can to this slip stitch. So it says the first single crochet after any chain 5 loop. I'm going to slip stitch. So we went ahead and we slip stitched in the first single crochet after any chain 5 loop. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This counts as our first treble. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to treble in the next single crochet. So then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this is where it can get a little difficult. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down, you're going to go in front of that first treble, behind the second treble. Grab your yarn and you're going to single crochet to make your loop. Then you're going to go ahead and do your last treble in that last single crochet. So 1, then go over like that. Then we do 2 stitches and 2. Okay. So that is, I was going to pull my, this is what it should look like. So I hope you guys see, but this is what it should look like. You should have 3 trebles and a chain 6 loop. And then what you want to do is you want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you want to come over and do the exact same thing over here. So we're going to start right here, because this is our slip stitch. We do not chain in this here. You skip this. Go here. We're doing a treble. Let's wrap around my yarn. So we do our treble like this. And this is the pattern you're going to repeat all the way around. So treble, then treble in the next single crochet. Then you want to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you want to come down again, go in front of the first treble, behind the second treble. Pull your yarn and make your single crochet to make your loop. Then you want to go ahead and do a normal treble in the last single crochet. And we're going to do that again. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to wrap around, and you want to go into the first single crochet and do your treble. Then we do another treble in the next single crochet. Then we do our chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then, like I said, You want to go in front of the first treble, behind the second treble. Pull your yarn over, and make it single crochet. Then you're going to do your last treble in the last single crochet. Got my yarns mixed up. And remember, you're going to do this all the way around. So this is what you should have after you have finished round 5. Yes. Okay. So this is, no, I'm sorry, not round 5. Round 6. After you finish round 6. This is what you should have after round 6. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you are finished with round 6. So now moving on to round 7, I'm going to go ahead and change my color again, and I am using Big Twist, and this is a darker colored pink. I'm not exactly sure what the correct color for it is, but it's not pink. It's a darker pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to join. You can join in any chain 3 space. So I'm going to join in this chain 3 space where I slip stitch and ended my yarn. Give me a minute to just fix this camera just a little bit. Nope. Nope. Keeps wanting to lean. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to join here, and I am going to join with a slip stitch right here, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and this 8 counts as a treble and chain 4. So when you get to the end and you slip stitch, you want to slip stitch in the 4th chain. So you want to count up 4 chains and slip stitch in that 4th chain. Now, what we're going to do is pretty much the same thing as the row before. You're going to wrap around and do a treble. You're going to do a treble in this chain 3 space. So go ahead and do your treble. Uh-oh. Too many yarns. Okay. Then we're going to do our second treble. And now we're going to do our initial chain 6 for our loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you do the exact same thing from the previous round, which is going front of the first treble, behind the second treble. And you want to make a slip stitch. And then you have your chain 6 loop. Then you're going to go ahead and do your last treble. Now, the only difference from this round and the previous round is when you go over to your next chain 3 space. You're not going to chain 3, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go right over to this next chain here. I'm going to wrap around and do your treble. So the chain 4 is pretty much the only difference in this round. So then we'll do our second treble. Then you do your chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Uh-oh. And again, you want to go in front of the first treble, behind the second treble. Pull up your yarn, then you want to yarn over and do a normal single crochet to make your chain 6 loop. Then you want to go ahead and do your last treble. And that is how we're going to do our pattern all the way around to the end. And don't forget that you're chaining 4 here, not 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm nearly finished. I'm right at the end, and I wanted to show you guys in case anybody was getting confused. So now I've done this one here, and I've chained my 4. Now I'm back to where I started right here. So I'm going to do 1 treble in there. This is a treble. Okay, and then you're kind of just gonna move that over and do your second treble. Then you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then again, you're going to go in front of the first treble, behind the second treble, do a single crochet. And instead of doing the third treble, you're going to come over here and you're going to count up 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is where I'm going to slip stitch. And there you go. And it looks like all the rest of them. So this is what you should have right here. And I hope that you can see all of this and all of my colors. I have my yellow, orange, red, and my dark pink. Now for round 8, you can use the same color if you want to, but of course I'm going to use a new color. So in total, you're going to need 5 colors. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your last color will be the 5th color. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start round 8. Now I'm using a different color, and this one is, I believe, Big Twist Turquoise. Not sure, but it's not exactly blue. So we're gonna go ahead and you can use the same color if you want. So we're going to join our yarn by making a standard single crochet in any chain 4 space. So I'm going to go in here and make a standard single crochet. Here we go. And then it says to make 3 more single crochets in this same chain 4 space. So that's 1, 2, and this is 3, with a total of 4 single crochets in that chain 4 space. So we're going to single crochet in the treble. So that's here, and that would be right here. So it's the little stitch, not chain, but stitch right next to the chain 6 loop. So let's see if I can closer. So right, I'm going to pull this out. Right here, right there is your treble. And you want to single crochet in there. Bring that back. Okay. And then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next treble, and that would be this little space right next to the chain 6 loop. So right here is your treble spot. So you want to yarn over because you're doing a half double crochet. Come in, and this is supposed to go in front like that. Okay. My yarn's mixed up. All right. And then you want to do 2 half double crochets and 2 double crochets in this next chain 4 space. So I'm going to do, so this is where I slip stitched. So I'm going to go over and right here, we're going to do 2 half double crochets, and then you want to do 2 double crochets. So one, too tight there. Okay, these are our 2 double crochets. Okay, 2 double crochets, not chain 4 space, and then you want to make 3 trebles in the next treble, which is right here. So we want to do, okay, so right here in this space right there. You want to do 3 trebles. So again, that's that little space right next to the chain 6 loop. It's not a chain, it's an actual stitch. This is 2. And this is 3. Okay. And then you want to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go over to our next treble, and we're going to make 3 trebles in here. So this is 1. And this is 2. And then our last treble. Okay. Now let me just, I got a little bit of a tangle here in my yarn. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do our, in this chain 4 space is going to be 2 double crochets. So, how did I do that? 2 double crochets. This 1, and this is 2. And then you want to do 2 half double crochets in the same chain 4 space. So 1 and 2. And then you want to do a half double crochet in this treble. Then you want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to do a single crochet in this treble. Okay, and then you're going to repeat, and you're going to do, now you're going to repeat all, and you're going to do a, sorry, you're going to put 4 single crochets in here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that chain 4 space. And we're also going to single crochet in this treble. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to half double crochet in this next treble here. And then you're going to do 2 half double crochets and 2 double crochets into this chain 4 space. So that's 1, this 2, that's my 2 half double crochets. Then I'm doing 2 double crochet. Why do I do that? Okay, double crochets. 1, and this is 2. Now, what we're going to do in this next treble is make 3 trebles. So right here, this is the first treble. This is the second treble here. And again, the treble that you're working into is the stitch right next to the chain 6 loop. Remember, it is not a chain, it is an actual stitch. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to do 3 more trebles in the next treble right after the chain 6 loop. So, and this is our first treble. This is our second treble. And this is our third treble. And then you want to do, oh, I don't know why I do that, 2 double crochets and 2 half double crochets in this chain 4 space. So those are my 2 double crochets. Now I'm doing my half. So half and half. And then we do a half double crochet in this treble. Then we chain 2, 1 and 2, and we single crochet in this next treble. Then we're going to put 4 single crochets here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to put a single crochet in this treble. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're doing a half double crochet in this treble. Then it's 2 half double crochets and 2 double crochets in this chain 4 space. So that's my first half double crochet. Here's my second half double crochet, and then I'm doing my double crochets. So my first double crochet and my second double crochet. Okay, and then in this treble here, we're going to make 3 trebles. So okay, so this will be my first treble. Then this is my second treble. And this is my third treble. Okay. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to put 3 more trebles in the next treble. So this is my first treble here. Then here's my second treble. And this is my third treble. Okay? And then we're going to do, why wrap around 3 times, 2 double crochets and 2 half double crochets in this chain 4 space. So my first double crochet, this is my second double crochet, then my half double crochet, and then my second half double crochet. And then you want a half double crochet in this treble. Then you want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you want to do a single crochet in this treble. Then we want to go ahead and do 4 single crochets in this chain 4 space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Uh-oh. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, okay. And then you want a single crochet in the treble. Then you chain 2, 1 and 2, and this is a half double crochet. And then you want to do 2 half double crochets and 2 double crochets in this chain 4 space here. So it's my first half, this is my second half double crochet. I don't know why I wrap around 3 times. And this is my first double crochet and my second double crochet. Now you want to do in this treble right here, which is a stitch, you want to do 3 trebles. So this will be the first one. This is the second one. And this is the third one. Okay. Then we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in our next treble on the other side, we put 3 more trebles here. So this is treble number 1. This is treble number 2. And then this is treble number 3. And then we do 2 double crochets and 2 half double crochets. So that's my first double crochet. Here is my second double crochet. This is my first half double crochet and my second half double crochet. Then you want to, uh-oh, made a mistake. Okay. Remember, you can always pull back the yarn to make the stitches fit in the chain spaces. So this is my second half double crochet. Then I'm half double crocheting in the chain, in the, not the chain, but the treble space, not the treble stitch. Then I chain two, one and two, and then we're going to single crochet in this treble. And then you just simply slip stitch to the very first stitch that you made. And so now you should have a square. And what you want to do is you want to take these little loops, your chain 6 loops, and they're all supposed to come forward here. They're supposed to be in front. So just want to okay. So this is what you should have, and it should look like a square now. So, and then your next round is simply single crochets and double crochets. So I will show you that it is simply your next round will be single crochets with 2 single crochets here, chain 2, 2 single crochets. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna do this with the same color. I am not going to switch my colors. So I'm gonna chain 1, and this is simply a single crocheting on this round. So, and this goes from round 9 all the way to round 13. And that is simply because you want to make this big enough so that when you start your petals, you are able to anchor them down. So we're just gonna, you just bend that back, and you just, this is chain 2, so you just put 2 single crochets here in that chain, and then you continue on. And now you're at this first corner, and in this first corner you're going to do 2 single crochets, then you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to put 2 more single crochets into that same space. And you just kind of want to pull it back because there is a stitch here, and then you want to single crochet like normal. So and I want to stop for a moment and show you. Here is your corner now. And don't worry about this hole because it's going to be covered up by the petal we're going to make later. Now again, we're coming to this chain 2 behind this chain 6 loop. And again, you're just going to put 2 single crochets back there. And then you're just going to continue to single crochet like normal. Okay, so you see that I finished the single crochet round. Now I'm going to show you the double crochet round. This is what you should have at the end of the single crochet round. Now the double crochet round is pretty much the same, just everything is done with double crochets. So first we're going to chain 2, and you're just going to double crochet in every stitch now, putting a 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corners. And of course you don't have to pull back that chain 6 loop anymore because you've already put your 2 single crochets in the chain. So you just double crochet over it as normal. Now I'm coming up on my corner, so one more stitch, and then I have this. Okay, so you can see there is a small hole right there, and that is what you're double crocheting into. So it's going to be a tight squeeze, but it is 2 double crochets. So that's 1, this is 2, there's 2, then you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to go ahead and put 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. So 1 and 2. Now make sure that you're not crocheting over this stitch right here. This is a stitch, and you want to double crochet into that, and then continue to double crochet on. Okay, so I did the double crochet round, as you can see. Now you're going to do 3 more rounds. There's going to be a round of single crochet, then another round of the double crochet, and you're going to end your last round with a single crochet. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that part off camera, and then I will meet you back at the end when I am finished. Okay, so I finished my single crochets and double crochets. Now there is an extra 5 rounds that are optional for you to do, and it is still just the single crochet and the double crochet. You can stop at round 13. If you want to keep going, you can pause the video and continue with those 5 rounds. But we're going to start on round 18, where we're going to now start the petals. So you want to use the same color that you did this round in. So here would be the pink, the red, and then here would be the orange. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. This was our chain 4 space here. And you're just going to kind of locate the center, and you want to kind of spread those stitches apart, and you want to insert your hook there and do a slip stitch. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to fold this so you guys can see. So I started here and I pushed back my stitches, found the center, and I slip stitched onto it. Now we're going to be working in this chain 6 loop here. And what you're going to do is you're going to treble. You're going to make 6 trebles. So I'm going to wrap around. I'm going to go through here and we're going to do 6 trebles. So this will be 1, and you want to kind of pull it over. This is our 2nd treble. I didn't get all of that in there. Okay, there we go. This is still just a 2nd treble. Then I'm going to move it over. This is our 3rd treble. And then this is our 4th treble. Four. And then this is our 5th treble. And our last treble is our 6th. Put our 6th treble in there. Okay, and there's our 6 trebles. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take and you want to lay out your petal, and you want to center, you want to try to estimate where it's going to land, and you want to take your hook and go behind the post of wherever it lands, and you just want to simply slip stitch just like that. And then you're going to chain 1 to make the little point at the top of the flower. And now Some people get really confused here. You're chaining one, and right at the top of your last treble, you want to go into it like if you were single crocheting into it, and you want to do an actual single crochet to make the little point at the top. Then what you want to do is you're going to make 6 more trebles into this same chain 6 space. So there's our first treble. This is our second treble. This is our third treble. Fourth treble. This is our fifth treble. And here's our last treble for this petal. Okay, and then you want to come down, pinpoint your center, and you're going to go in and just slip stitch the petal down. Uh-oh. Okay, so here is our very first petal. So there we go. Now we're going to do a second petal. I'm going to show you how to do the second petal. Okay, so I'm going to show you this again. You just start from where you slip stitch. You're going to put 6 trebles. So this is our first treble. This is our second treble. This is our third treble. And this is our fourth treble. Here's our fifth treble. And this is our sixth treble. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I really want you to see this. Okay, so again, you're going to lay the petal flat. So it's going to wind up right here. And I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go in right behind that, pull up and slip stitch. Then you're going to chain, and I want you to see this. this right here, if I take my hook out, this right here is the last treble that you did. Now you're going to take and you're going to go in there and you're going to do a single crochet just like that. And now you're going to do your 6 more trebles. So this is 1, and this is 2, here is 3, and this is 4, five, and 6. Okay, and this is our second petal. And again, you're just going to come right down here, what used to be our chain 4 space. Just gonna kind of estimate the center. Just poke your hook in and slip stitch. So, and there is your second petal. Okay, so I've come to the end of my first round of petals. Now, what you're going to do is right where you slip stitch to start, you're going to go right in, right up under it, and slip stitch to end. And there you go. And what you want to do is want to cut off your yarn, and you're going to tie it off. It's like that. We'll worry about this later. You can sew it in. So now this is what your first round of petals should look like. Now you want to start on your second set of petals here. And you're going to start with the same color you use to make this round. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my red. And this is pretty much the same as the previous round, except for in these loops, instead of doing trebles, you're going to do double crochets. So we're going to start right in here is where we're starting. So you just want to go right here. Let me fold this so you guys can see. Okay. I'm going to start with this loop here. So you're going to join with a slip stitch right in here. And you're going to go ahead and slip stitch. And you're going to do the same thing. There's going to be 6 double crochets. Then you want to flatten it down right where it lays. And then you do 6 more double crochets. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in our 6 double crochets. So this is, okay, that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. Okay, and just like we did on the previous round, you want to straighten, lay out, find right in between these 2 petals where it's going to land, and you just want to go around the post, pull your yarn, and do a slip stitch. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to chain 1, and right at the top of that double crochet, which is right here, you're going to actually just go in, pull your yarn, and do a simple single crochet, just like that. Then you're going to go ahead and do your 6 remaining double crochets in here. So this is 1 and 2, this is 3 and 4, and this is 5 and 6. There we go. And then you come here, just estimate the center and put your slip stitch in just like that, and then you have your first second round of petals. So now we're going to go ahead and do this one. I'm going to show you again. double crochets, not triples, double, 6 of them. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, and this is 4, 5, and 6. And then again, right between the petals here, and your first set of petals, pinpoint where it's going to land, and then you just want to slip stitch, chain 1, then again you want to go through the this first stitch, the last stitch of your double crochet, and do a single crochet. That creates the point at the top of the flower or the petal. So, and then we do our double crochet, 6 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one is 6. And then right here, want to pinpoint the middle, come down, and do a slip stitch. And now you have your petals for the second round here. And you're going to just continue to keep doing that all the way around. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished the second round of petals, as you can see here. Second round of petals. And now we're going to go ahead and do our last round, the orange, our third round of petals here. So I've already attached my orange yarn, and of course we are going to start. I'm going to start right in here. You want to start right in here. It really doesn't matter where you put your slip stitch, but okay. Uh-oh. There we go. There's our slip stitch. And now, instead of doing double crochets here, we're going to do half double crochets. And instead of doing 6, we're going to do 5. So, here we go. And this is 1. And you want to try to pull it over to make room. This is 2. Gets a little difficult. There we go. Okay, this is 3. 4. And this is 5. And now when you anchor this, you're going to anchor this right here. Right in between your second round of petals. And you're going to chain just like you did before. Chain 1. And remember, you're going to go in and do your single crochet right there to make your little point. And then you're just going to finish off with your 5 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, there we go. And you're just going to come down here and you're going to slip stitch. Just like that. And then you have your last round petal right there. So we're going to do this again. And that's 1. Let me just, there we go. So you guys can see. So that's my 1 half double crochet. This is my second half double crochet. This is my third, my fourth, and this is my 5th. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm just gonna put it right in there. Okay. I'm going to chain. And right here, just like we did in the previous 2 rounds, single crochet. Then the rest of your 5 half double crochets go here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. And this is my last one, which makes it 5. Uh-oh. Okay. And then I come right here and I just slip stitch. There we go. And so there's that. Now I'm going to do the rest of my last round of petals off camera, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I have completed my third round of petals. Now, what I wanted to show you guys was, you have all of these little strings hanging out, and you don't want to just cut them, because if you do that, if you cut too low, you could cut off something you're not supposed to cut, and you can unravel everything. So, what we're going to do is, like this one, this was a slip stitch here. These are both slip stitches. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to take my, I'm going to fold this so you guys can see here. Okay, so this is my yarn needle here, and what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put that through there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go into the stitch. Just simply in and out through the petal. And then when I go through this one, and instead of continuing to keep going, sorry about that. But instead of just going through the petals again, what you're going to do is you're going to come and you're going to go through this part here. And there. And then it's all hidden. And then what you can do is you can just clip it off. So you kind of want to do that for each little yarn or tail you have. So instead of just clipping them off, you want to kind of secure them, anchor them down. So go, keep going here. And then I'm just gonna go straight through the loops here of the petal. And there it is, it's hidden. And now I can clip that off. And then see, that makes that part look much better. And there's no thread, there's no yarn hanging out there. So I'm gonna do that for all the rest of these here. Now if you wanted to, remember I said there were 5 extra rounds for the square. If you want to make your square bigger, you can always go around and crochet around it some more to make it bigger. But I like this size, so I do not do the 5 extra rounds on the square. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial of the crocodile flower, and I hope that this has helped some of you who were having trouble with the other video that I had made. Please comment below, let me know what you think, and let me know if this video is better than the first video I did. And I want to thank you guys for watching.